New housing data out this morning in a big week for the sector here. We've got pending home sales. This tracks the number of housing contracts that have been signed, but the transaction is not yet complete. It's seen as a leading indicator of existing home sales. Typically, it takes 1 to 2 months to ultimately close on a home. And here with the numbers, we've got Yahoo Finance's Dani Romero here. Dani, you've been tracking this one. So what do we know?
Brad, high home prices and elevated mortgage rates are keeping would-be buyers away from the housing market. Data from the National Association of Realtors shows that pending home sales, a leading indicator for the housing sector, fell 2.1% in May from the month prior. And on a yearly basis, pending transactions are down 6.6%. Now, regionally, the Midwest and the South posted a drop in contract signings in May from the month before, and that could be because there's not a lot of people relocating to those areas. That's a very different picture from the pandemic days. Meanwhile, the Northeast and the West recorded some gains. Brad?
So, Dani, put these numbers into context for us. Do they point to any recovery for the housing market?
Look, Brad, industry experts expect mortgage rates to be moderately lower, which will in turn boost more housing activity and stabilize home prices. Yet now there are some signs of a turning point. Data from Redfin shows that the typical home is selling for less than its listing price. And that is the first time since that's happened since the pandemic. The likelihood of homes selling below asking price is rising because there's more supply and less demand. Meanwhile, mortgage rates are sitting at their lowest average in 3 months, but that's still not enough for buyers to jump into this housing market. Data from Goldman Sachs shows that about 95% of mortgage borrowers have an interest rate below the current rate, and almost 80% of rates are more than 2 percentage points below market rates. So this recovery could take a little bit longer as these mortgage rates and interest rates remain elevated. Brad?
Yeah, the Redfin data that you had mentioned before saying a typical U.S. home that sold during the 4 weeks ending June 23rd sold for 0.3% less than its asking price. Interesting data there. Thanks so much for breaking it down, Dani. Appreciate it.